Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we were the scouting staff for this season's Hula Bowl. Today I have with me one of the participants in that event. His name is Julius Chestnut. He's a running back out of the Sacred Heart. How you doing today, buddy?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing well. So it's been fun actually following you and your career, your journey. I mean, we really wanted to have you down at the Hula Bowl, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get rolling with everything, give us a brief summary if you don't mind. Tell me maybe where you're from and how you got there to Sacred Heart.
I'm from originally from Bowie, Maryland. Um, I grew up there till I was 20 years old. Moved to Upper Marlboro last year. Um, really, just 10 minutes down the road from where I grew up at. Um, just got a better opportunity at a new house, so my parents took it and ran with it. Um, I went to Archbishop Spalding in Severn, Maryland, more near the Baltimore area. Um, Anne Arundel County. Uh, played varsity 3 years under head coach Kyle Schmidt, one of my favorite coaches I've ever played for. Great guy. I still talk to him to this day. Helped me making decisions till this day. Um, and he's the one that helped me get into college. Basically, it was rough. It was a rough high school getting recruited, but um, I give 100% all glory from him and God for helping me get to Sacred Heart, which came from Matt Gardner was my recruiter, our offensive coordinator up at Sacred Heart, was the one that offered me out of high school. That's how I got up there.
So, having a pretty decent career there at Sacred Heart, being an All American, so that's definitely fun. So, Julius, I got you in my notes, pretty decent size as a running back. So, I mean, about 5'11", 225 pounds. So, a nice solid size there. So, I want you to kind of just talk to me for a minute about you as a prospect. Obviously, a running back there. So, what do you feel is perhaps like the best part about your game, and maybe what separates you as an athlete?
Yeah, a lot of the time people think that um, they see my size and they think I'm just a bruiser back, but it can be misleading. I really don't like to look at myself that way because that's just a one track mind, and I feel as though I'm very more versatile than a lot of people think, and that's what I think takes my game over the top. I love to catch the ball out of the backfield. I love creating mismatches against a linebacker or whoever is up against me. I feel like I'm gonna beat them regardless, and that's one thing I take for myself as a blessing to have, be able to catch and run routes. I practice it all the time. And a lot of people, like I said, they think I'm just a bruiser back, but I love to juke you right out of your shoes. But that's one thing I think that um, helps me playing football.
So, I want to kind of give you a little bit of insight. Throughout the season, we had a lot of scouts actually help us evaluate players, and one of our guys that actually wrote up an eval on you, his name is Stephen Thompson. So I just kind of wanted to read a little blurb out of that, just so that you could hear what perhaps somebody else has to say about you. So he says has proportionally thick, muscular build, a strong built lower half, um, and displays quality athletic ability and speed, compensating with good quickness and footwork. He says you're a downhill runner, so I mean that's just kind of how he says it. So, a downhill runner who shows above average acceleration to the line of scrimmage, executing power run plays with good patience, allowing blocking to develop, and obviously, gets to the line of scrimmage with sufficient pad level displays adequate ball security as well. So, how do you feel about those comments? Do they sit well with you, or do you still feel like there's still something left there to for you? So,
I mean, they hit right on the nose. I feel it. So what I feel is the way I play. Growing up, I watched Le'Veon Bell. That's probably one of my favorite running backs. Um, After Jerome Bettis, which is my favorite. Growing up a Steelers fan, but uh, Le'Veon Bell, his patience, and I watch it before every game. When he played for the Steelers, his highlights for the Steelers, I watch it before every game, and I just try to um, emulate him, what he does. And that's one thing that I take um, for this game is my feet work. I know I got to have good feet work if I'm going to be patient. I got to be able to accelerate through the line, like you said. But and the only thing I say is really, like I said before, I like to catch the ball. But I mean, not really on there just because I didn't really catch that much in high school. But still, it's still one thing that I know I love to do and I can do.
well, I know you can do it, but perhaps they just didn't utilize you much as a receiver. I mean, I think that just kind of goes with the territory. I mean, however your coaches choose to use you. So,
Mhm.
I found it a little interesting, actually, being a Maryland guy, that you're a Steelers fan. I don't know how that's even possible, but it's okay. I mean, the guys that you talked about there, guys like Jerome Bettis. I mean, you gotta, respect him. I mean, a
Mhm.
lot of guys, you had to respect him, or else he's just gonna run you over. So,
Right?
definitely understand that there. So. Obviously, a player that we liked a lot. We wanted to have you at the, down in Orlando at the Hula Bowl. So, why don't you chat with me about that for a little bit? So, how was it like getting that first call? Hearing that you're going to actually come down to Orlando for that event.
It was a tremendous honor for me to be able to play in the game, get the invite. I was in between on maybe coming back for an extra year, just because of the past season, um, my injury, and I didn't really know if I should come back, if I should go out. And once I get the hula ball offer to play in the game, I was like, man, this is God telling me this is my shot, and whatever I got to do to make it happen, I'll do it. So that's what made me come to the game, declare for the NFL draft, and pursue my dreams to play in the NFL. Um, Playing there was an awesome time. Just being in Orlando, playing at UCF. I never played in a stadium that big before. In general, it was just amazing to me. I never played against FBS players before. It was the first time ever. It was just a great experience. I met so many people, made so many friends, uh, talked to a lot of scouts, and it was just a great time there. My family got to come. I got to see them again, and it was just a great time.
Yeah, we didn't know whether or not you were actually going to be available, but obviously very happy that you were able to come. I mean, I want to say that you were probably one of the better guys there at your position, so do feel like you stood out a little bit there as a running back. So definitely you know definitely fit in. I want to say someone somewhere said that you were like the first Sacred Heart player to play in that event, which I thought was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
What how do you feel about that? By the way.
Oh no, it's great. I love putting on for my team and where I come from. Never forget where I come from, and that's what something I've grown up with. Uh, Man, Sacred Heart has done so much for me. They gave me the opportunity to play college football again, and I'm forever grateful for it. And just to be able to do the things that I'm doing now, playing in the Hula Bowl, things like this, and I played the NFLPA Bowl, and this is just steps and steps growing for not only me but for the community of Sacred Heart. And just putting us on the map, because a lot of those kids deserve it. Um, and up there, we work hard. It's cold. We out there on Wednesdays going through it in 1 degree weather outside doing mat drills. But it's so much work that we do up there, and our coach staff up there, our strength conditioning coach is probably the best in the Northeast Conference. In the Northeast, I might say, he does so much for us and helped me get to where I'm at. And I'm so grateful for them, and I love that. I'm able just to put on for Sacred Heart.
Yeah, definitely represented him very well at our event, and like you had mentioned, like right after the Hula Bowl. When did you get that call? Were you like down there in Orlando when the NFLPA said, "Hey, you gonna come play in our game as well"? Is that when you got that call?
Yeah, it was the Thursday after the Thursday practice. I got into the locker room. Uh, I received a text, and it was like, "Hey, you received the invite to the NFLPA Bowl." They noticed that I was doing well at the Hula Bowl, and and before this, I guess I was close to getting the invite to the NFLPA Bowl. I just never got the shot, and not having them as much film, I guess they just didn't quite know yet. But I feel as though I knew what I had to do at the Hula Bowl, and I knew what my talents were, and I knew how I was, and I knew I could be able to compete with anybody um, who steps ahead of me. And I feel as though that I did a good job at the Hula Bowl. That's why I got the invite, and I was so grateful for it.
Yeah, man. Obviously, a player who deserved it. So, during All Star events like that, I mean, as you had mentioned previously, I mean, you're able to actually sit down and interview NFL scouts. How did some of those interviews go for you? I mean, I'm assuming at that, attending both of these All Star events, you probably talked to every team in the league. Like, I don't know if you were actually keeping count, but I know that there were a lot of people interested in you. Talk to me about those interviews, just kind of in general, and like how you felt about them.
It was a great experience. A little bit overwhelming at one point. I was getting them back to back to back, running around trying to figure out where I gotta go. Talk to whoever just to make sure I'm talking to the scouts. But no, it was great. I loved every moment of it. Just took it in, took it all in. But it just I didn't. It felt like a dream come true. Just to be able to talk to those guys, and just to be in that situation, being that moment, just talking to those people, just it felt so good. And I'm forever grateful for it. It was a great time.
Awesome. So hopefully you learned how to do these interviews properly. So if other people want to interview you, I mean, you kind of have it down pat now. So
Mhm.
a lot of good experience sitting down with NFL brass. So
Yeah.
fun stuff. So obviously playing in those two All Star events, I mean, some good moments there. But also kind of wanted to get your take on perhaps like what's one of your best moments as a collegiate player? Maybe something there at Sacred Heart, a game or a play that maybe even sticks out in your memory. So, best moment or highlight.
Definitely my junior year, when we won the championship in overtime, man. And I don't think I have ever felt so happy for a group of people in my life, and for myself. That season, I came in third place in the Walter Payton Award, to Cole Kelly, actually, who was at the game at the Hula Bowl. He won it that year. Great player, man. He can really throw the ball. But nah, it was a great moment. In the fourth and 14, Marquez McCray threw a dime for about 20-yard touchdown to Nassim Brantley over the middle of the field in overtime. Put us up. Our defense came, got a fumble in the end zone, recovered it in the end zone, man, and our whole team rushed the field. It was a great moment for the NEC championship, and it was my second ring as a Pioneer. But that moment right there was a great experience.
Awesome. So you ended up getting a couple rings there, and yeah, I know at the Hula Bowl we also hand out rings too. So,
Yeah.
have you gotten that yet? I mean, I don't know when they were supposed to hand those things out. So,
I
um,
sent it to my house, but my mom hasn't said anything yet about it, so I don't know if it's at home yet.
well, definitely let me know when you get that. I'd love to be
Oh
able
yeah,
to, showcase that. So, gotta take a whole lot of these pictures and let people know how pretty that ring looks. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
um, so obviously, again, had this very great career in college. So now we're just kind of transitioning towards this dream of yours of being an NFL player. So if we think about it, I mean, obviously you're going to be you know training here soon with regards to like your pro day. So where are you at right now? I mean, are you training at a facility or with a coach?
Yep, I'm down in Fort Lauderdale right now, training at XPE with Matt Gates and Tony Villani.
Nice. So, and when is that pro day, by the way?
My pro day is going to be at UConn on March 23rd.
Awesome. So, going to be at UConn March 23rd. So, what can we expect out of that pro day? I mean, you have any expectations, or you know where you're at with some of those testing numbers yet, or where do you sit with that?
Um, I'm at where I want to be right now. Just waiting patiently. We're gonna find out though. Um,
Oh,
I'm a,
oh,
I'm a, I'm a save it for the numbers, but um, I'm pretty sure I might shock a little people.
that's cool, man. I mean, I'll be excited to see you shock a whole lot of people for sure.
Oh yeah.
So, um, awesome. So, definitely going to be, paying attention, waiting for that pro day. So, I do want to get a chance to meet who Julius Chestnut is outside of a football player for just a little bit. So, tell me something fun, interesting about yourself that you want to share. So, anything unique, special, hobbies, or what have you. So, hit me with something.
Uh, hobbies. I love to golf, man. I'm a huge golf guy. Growing up, I golf was the first sport I've ever picked up. My father introduced me to it when I was 4 years old. Played in tournaments when I was younger. Um, uh, Still play to this day. uh, Recently, last year, I played the Bear Trap. Was probably my favorite course I've ever played in down here in Florida. Uh, Back nine, so crazy. It's called the Bear Trap for a reason. But nah, definitely golf is probably my favorite hobby to do. Just to get away from the game of football and do something else, stay active, and it calms my mind down. Sometimes I like to walk 18, but just because my dad wants to do it. But um, it's a great time to do, and also spend time with my father. He loves to do it. Golf's probably 3 times a week at least. He travels to play golf all the time, and wherever he goes, he brings his clubs. So I try to do the same thing whenever he goes somewhere when I got time. But um, definitely golf is probably my favorite thing to do outside of football.
Cool. So that's kind of interesting, being a golfer. So
Mhm.
also want to kind of I don't know, throw out some silly questions just for fun. So uh, comfort meal. What's your favorite comfort meal? So when you think about maybe a restaurant or a meal, what do you got to have? I mean, being a Maryland guy, like I don't know, like if you got maybe a place that you like to go to or whatever.
What always makes me feel at home is Lito's Pizza. It's originated in Maryland. Um, it's I a lot of people tell me that Connecticut pizza is the best pizza, or they'll say New York, but man, Lito's Pizza is the best pizza I've ever had. Whenever I go home, I have to get it before I leave or right when I get there, I get it. It's actually in the airport at BWI. If I'm leaving, I'm getting it. Sit there on the plane and eat it, or if I just got back, I know exactly where it is. It's by B10, and I'll go find that Litos before I go to baggage claim. But nah, definitely Litos pizza is probably my favorite comfort food.
That's a fun thing to hear. Way back in my day when I was in high school, I actually worked there. So
Really?
yeah, so yeah, kind of fun to hear that from you. So we could chit chat about that later, but
Oh, yeah.
definitely fun fun place to go to. Not a lot of people know it, but it does travel a little bit. So
Hmm.
there are locations everywhere. So
Yeah,
you
they're getting bigger.
they're spreading out, so
Hmm.
it's been nice. So, Julius, as we wrap up this interview, bud, I want to give you a chance one more time to talk to all those scouts. So, why don't you go ahead, look into that camera, and tell them one last time why they need to take a chance on you, sign you, draft you, and bring you into their franchise. So, go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
I feel as though I'm just a team player, and I'm for everybody. I love my family, and I got it actually tatted on my chest. Family first, and that's how I treat my teammates like that. You can go ask anyone on my team. I'll put them over anybody, and I take care of them. I make sure they're okay. And loyalty, I got it actually tatted on my arm as well. Those things mean a lot to me, and I take away from the game is one of the most unselfish sports that there is to play. If one person is being selfish, then you're never going to win a game, man. I feel as though I'm the most selfless person that you can find, and I love playing a game of football, um, and won't have no problems with me off the field at all. Everybody that I know loves me, but um, yeah, I feel so. Just that's just the way I am.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a very strong physical runner that could be used in every facet, every team. So anybody who's in need of a running back, I mean, obviously, look no further than Sacred Heart for Julius Chestnut. So I know you've done very well lately. You've been able to compete and do a fantastic job. I mean, when you go to events like the Hula Bowl, like the NFLPA Bowl, and really, just kind of set yourself apart and just be able to show that you can compete with that top competition. So people should already know who you are, and those who don't definitely need to, check out your film. So wish you best of luck with everything you got going on. All right, buddy.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Sure. Once again, we got Julius Chestnut, running back at a Sacred Heart. Definitely check him out.